The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. We got Tommy.
I'm just here.
What's your last name? Tommy Stevens?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Just here.
As always.
Didn't you just get cut by the Panthers? Tommy Bradley alongside Jeremy Greene as well. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. It is a Thursday. We had pretty much the NBA massacre last night. 3 teams going home.
Bye, Brian's team.
No.
The New York Knicks falling along with the Washington Wizards. And, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies going home as well.
Who's surprised? Joe Hand?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Nobody? Oh.
No one bites
No
the
real
dust.
surprises last night in the NBA. We had 2 big surprises, though, yesterday after our show. We started hearing the
Yeah, I mean,
rumblings.
shit just happens as soon as we're done. That's
Right.
That sounds familiar.
Right, we started hearing the rumblings late in the show yesterday that Danny Ainge, there's something may be happening there with the Boston Celtics, and then pretty much as soon as we got off the air, it all started breaking. Danny Ainge is stepping down. Brad Stevens is taking over the job of the president of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics and will lead the search for his replacement as the head coach. And then, shortly before the ESPN Asheville show started yesterday, 3 to 5 every weekday afternoon on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, by the way, except for today because we got Braves baseball being preempted. But anyway, most afternoons 3 to 5 on ESPN Asheville. It was announced that Coach K is going to be done at Duke.
Bye, Kay. The salty Duke fan. The salty Duke fan wipes his tears with the coach.
Wiping my tears with the 1,000-win shirt. You know.
With the 1,000-win shirt.
Don't worry about me, guys.
Coach K, it's going to be one more year, one last shot at glory, and then Jon Scheyer is going to take over the program. So did they make the right call there? We'll get into that during the next hour here with you in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it out with your friends as well. We will continue to have the off-season review videos going out team by team. So follow along with that latest team by team series here from the Sportsocracy crew on YouTube. Also, we're going to have your monkey knife fight play of the night tonight by the end of the program.
The streak was broken last night by half a damn point.
Oh, Julius Randle just breaking the streak for Jeremy.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, half a point. You always hate seeing that. Anywho, glad to have you all along on the ride here with us. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon as well, patreon.com/thesportsocracy. Now, yesterday we had the big news. Obviously, let's start with Coach K, since we are, live from Woodfin, North Carolina, where
Asheville.
What's a Woodfin?
That you take this little teeny tiny city that nobody has ever heard of.
Hey, we got to put them on the map, man.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
You think it would have happened by now?
I mean, what the Woodfin Town Hall? You think that's gonna be a viewer site.
Hot. Anyhow,
Visitor. Jesus Christ. God,
as we hail from North Carolina, we will start with Coach K because, as you can see, I dressed for the occasion, as did Tommy over here. We'll let you go, man. He's your guy.
Last night I was in a glass case of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was tough to take. I said on Twitter last night, if you see me in the street with a tear in my eye, just mind your business, keep it moving. I've got allergies. You know, it's allergy season.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying. If there's 2 things, my mother taught me in life is that number 1, real men cry, and number 2, if you want to stay popular with the ladies, you got to keep your downstairs groomed with Manscaped.
Don't forget the promo code Sportsocracy at manscaped.com.
Promo code Sportsocracy.
Lawnmower 4.0.
Lawnmower 4.0. But really, I mean, if you guys know me, I'm a mellow guy. I've been compared to a male Mother Teresa or a Caucasian Buddha at times, But what I saw on Twitter last night.
You were just compared to Justin Thomas, too, which I can't unsee.
It's the trifecta. But what I saw on Twitter last night was disgusting, I was real upset to see it. I really need to see the respect for Coach K increase, so I'm going to have to come see some of you in a different way. You know what I'm saying? these ball bags want to take his 1,100 wins and this leak that he's going to retire at the end of the year, not praise him, not support him like a lot of Duke fans did for Roy. Everyone wants to come out and say, oh, Coach K wants a Jeter farewell tour. Jeter farewell tour. He wants the attention in his, what is he, 80-something years old now?
I'm not sure they're wrong, but I don't think this is the right
time. Look, so he's got more money than...
Let's let the body get cold first.
Yeah, I know they're wrong, and I'll tell you why in a second.
What is the thing that everyone was upset about with Carolina when Roy retired? It was all kind of abrupt. Walker Kessler didn't know what to do. He abruptly left. Had Bacot and Garrison Brooks transferred as well. Sharp went pro. I think Bacot's coming back. But there's just a lot of upheaval that comes when you lose a coach, one, that's legendary, two, that's been there for a long time. Guys need time to figure that out. So he's doing the best thing for Duke. In recruiting, I knew he was leaving when I saw that Duke didn't have any commitments for the 2022 class, which they usually do. They're usually in the top 5 in recruiting.
Right.
I knew something was going on then, didn't know he would be leaving next year, but it makes sense. You got to give Scheyer a year to be able to tell these recruits, Coach K's leaving, recruit his own class, get his own guys there, have a year to learn under K, because it is an impossible job. A lot of the things people are saying about Scheyer is about that he's too young and all these things, but he's the best guy for the job. He's been there for 9 years. There's some other coaches that I was, thinking maybe would be in line in front of him, but he's a young guy. He's good at player development. He's good at recruiting. And I think he really does need that year to know that he's going to be the guy and to walk with Coach K and Coach K's last year, learn every little thing that he can this year, soak it all up, and get prepared for an offseason instead of abruptly trying to do it in one offseason.
Yeah. So I have to ask, you said there were other people you considered. Who else would you have considered?
I mean, the lineage of Duke assistant coaches is super long. I mean, it depends on who's available.
You said bad wrong, but okay.
Quinn Snyder's a bad coach.
Quinn Snyder would never have taken
No, I'm not
job.
saying he is. I'm just saying the list of Duke assistants.
That's the only one I would have listened to.
Tommy Amaker.
And by the way, Quinn Snyder's a college coach. Wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
Great coach, but he left burning buildings everywhere he walked away
it's
from.
just that they've got. It's not like they lack for assistant coaches that are in college or in the NBA.
Yeah, you've got a whole.
Yeah, but they're bad.
Let's go down the Coach K coaching tree here. You got Tommy Amaker, who's had success at Harvard. You got Johnny Dawkins.
Who's been pretty bad pretty much everywhere he's been.
I mean, he had some good UCF teams that were,
With Taco Fall, who was 19 feet tall.
There's some other guys.
Novelty.
There's some other guys.
One.
Aubrey Dawkins, he was a
His
good guard.
son? You're going with his son.
He was a three-point shooter. He was a good player.
He was a hell of a recruiter.
Yeah.
Was Johnny Dawkins.
Yeah.
He was even able to get his own kid to come
at the
play
dinner
for him.
table. If you can recruit at the dinner table, that's working overtime.
You can convince kids with inside his own family.
So Johnny Dawkins is the second coach that you mentioned. At Stanford and Central Florida, he's 250 and 175.
Yeah.
That's not a Duke coach. It's not a Duke coach. It's a much more difficult job.
Not everyone's going to start at Duke.
You can't win in the Pac-12 and the AAC, but you can somehow win at Duke.
I mean, he did. He won at Stanford. He had them in the tournament a couple of years.
And it's way different.
One guy.
I thought it was two.
Do you know how long he was there? 8 years.
Right.
They made the tournament once.
And being in the ACC, having Duke's facilities, having unlimited Nike shoes, having all the things that come with being a Duke coach is going to bring you more talent. So
and Carolina,
it's hard
and
to
Florida State,
right,
and much deeper competition.
Right.
Yeah.
I've laughed at this whole Jon Scheyer was the wrong call. Okay, who else?
He's definitely not the wrong call.
Bobby Hurley. He was always at the top of my list.
And he just took great talent at Arizona State and was just a great big. He had Remy Martin. He had a couple. He
still
had
got
Bagley's little brother.
Right.
And still didn't even make the damn tournament.
Right. You got Wojciechowski, who obviously got fired from Marquette. Yeah.
So that really feels like a
guy.
precursor to a Duke coach to me. Right. Well, he got fired at Marquette, but I'm sure he'll be great.
But we're going to give him a shot here at Duke. No, I get what you're saying. There weren't a lot of great choices.
Stephen Tao in the comments said Central Florida doesn't exactly get Duke-level players. You're right, and they don't exactly play Duke-level competition either.
Yep.
That's a big old fat myth. That, the higher the school, the higher the level of players that you recruit. Agreed. However, the higher the level of competition. And it usually goes the exact opposite way. If you can't win at the small school, you get boat raced at the big school.
I said this yesterday. I think Duke did make the right call.
Yeah.
Because I think this way, and much like Carolina as well, you don't have, you have one major but, and these guys have not been head coaches before at the college level. Sure, that's a big but you also don't have a history of failure that you can point to and go, why the hell did you make this hire when this guy couldn't win at Marquette, when this guy couldn't win at Stanford, when this guy couldn't, all down the line. Because I did the same thing with all of the Carolina guys. All of the guys that we could have kept it inside the family.
Right.
You got those.
Except Wes Miller.
Except for Wes Miller. And Wes Miller was more of it's too early. I haven't seen him coach on the big stage. And you've got the head coach in waiting.
I didn't agree with that, just so we're clear.
And I don't necessarily agree with it either. What I was more concerned about was the pressure on the job. If you give it to somebody who you don't know, somebody who has been elsewhere, has not faced tough competition, I think you're going to face more heat.
UNCG is a little different.
It is a little different. And I think the way that Carolina and Duke have now handled these situations of going with their top ace assistants, it alleviates some of that pressure.
All right, first of all, I have to go to what he said, what Duke fans are saying about K wanting his farewell tour.
Yeah.
You had to do it this way. You had to. Because you know what Hubert Davis is doing right now? You don't know how long K's going to be here. You had to set the trajectory, or Hubert Davis was going to run circles around you. And Kentucky and Kansas and all these other schools. Because now all of them have taken away the objection of, we don't have a 75-year-old coach anymore, a 70-year-old coach, whatever.
Right.
We have a guy that's going to be here for the long haul.
Yep.
So the negative recruiting was going to become a thing. And look, if there was an opportunity to bash Duke, I'd take it. This is not one of them. This is exactly how this should have gone, and I got to give K credit. Here's what scares me about Jon Scheyer. I'm afraid that everything he does right, K's going to get credit for. And everything he does wrong, he's going to get bashed for.
Okay.
You never want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaces the guy. And I just feel like, and I feel the same way about Jon Scheyer and Hubert Davis. It is equivalent to me. I feel like there wasn't the big time, no doubt hire. Brad Stevens was the guy, but obviously now we see why that was never happening.
Right.
Mark Few, there were a few, but they're not at a place to listen. 4 years from now, they could be. Over under number of years, all right, let me ask this differently. Who lasts longer at Duke and Carolina? Hubert Davis or Jon Scheyer?
Hubert Davis. No
I
question.
agree with you. Over under 6 years for either.
Under for Scheyer. I'm going to go push. I'm going to go push for Hubert.
I'm going to go under on both.
With Scheyer, though, so how much stake do you put in what everyone says about recruiting? How he was the lead recruiter that got Zion, that got Cam Reddish, that got Jason Tatum, that got all these guys. He's a Midwest guy. He's from Chicago. He's got that, Jalil Okafor, DJ Stewart pipeline of Chicago guys. But how much stock do you put in that he was the lead recruiter for these big recruits? Because he also had Jeff Cable on staff. Then he had, Nolan Smith. He had Coach K. He had all these people that you can say, talk to me, but really you're going to be with this guy. So
you really buried the lead on that one.
Right.
Because, see, that's my thing with Jon Scheyer is, sure, he may be a good recruiter, but he's the good setup guy for this is the guy that you're actually going to get. You're going to get Coach K. That's the guy. There's something to be said for being able to get that, but you've got a very huge bargaining chip when you can say you're going to go get coached by the greatest coach in college basketball history.
Doubt.
Yes, I just said that. The greatest coach in college basketball history, there's no doubt about it. Now, that aside, I think he's still going to be able to bring in players, but there's going to have to be some success there. They're going to be.
For sure. You can't be at Duke and not win, have winning seasons. But as long as he has Nolan Smith there, I think he's got a really good connection to the NBA with all of Nolan's connections with, Quinn Cook and Kevin Durant and all the guys from that DMV area. As long as Nolan's on staff, I think, there is going to be a good 1-2 punch of young guys that are former players that won a championship, that were the best, two of the top 3 players on that championship team. So they've got the experience. And Duke and Carolina are both programs that they like to hire within the program. They like to keep it in the family because they do things a certain way. Tradition's a big thing for these guys. But I do think I've watched a lot on Jon Scheyer, seen him talk to players, seen him do film breakdowns, and he seems like a really smart young coach that knows how to develop players. That's one big thing you need right now. You also need to recruit in this one and done era, and you've got to be able to put it all together. We've seen him develop players, we've seen him recruit, but can you be the head guy that deals with everything, that deals with everyone's problems, all the staff, everything that goes with it? I think he can. I don't see I mean, anybody, could have a bad couple years and be out of there, but Sheyer's so loved in that building. I don't see him going anytime soon. I don't think he's going to have a bunch of terrible seasons right away, but even if he does, they're going to give him some time to work it out. I understand him being gone before Hubert in people's eyes, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
One of these hires is not going to work out. I mean, if you look at historically,
right,
the chances of you hitting a home run out of this are virtually nothing. I want to talk about there's a bigger problem in college basketball. And now I think you've watched it run off Roy Williams and Coach K. I get how old Coach K is. He's also about 7 years younger than Jim Boeheim. And Jim Boeheim's next.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, he's a whole
Jim Boeheim's next. If he doesn't make it the next year, I won't be shocked.
I think he'll be done.
He asked Roy and Coach K to save him a tea time.
I think he'll walk. I think he'll walk out with both his boys on the team this year,
and that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
And he may go out with K.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question: if you take Krzyzewski and Boeheim out, and Jim Calhoun's coaching at some D3 program, so I don't really count that. In terms of NCAA tournament eligible schools,
right?
If Boeheim goes away and K goes away, who's the leading? Who has the most wins of any active coach?
Izzo?
No.
Really?
I could probably tell you in a second.
I don't know how high Izzo is. Izzo is at not as high as you would think.
Really?
Whoa, I can't. I'm going down this list right now.
That can't be right.
That can't be right.
Is it Calipari's at 22? Bill Self's below Calipari.
I'm gonna have to actually
Bill
look
Self.
up.
That would be.
Self's below Calipari.
An active wins for coaches in D1 college basketball?
Tom Izzo has 643 career wins, by the way,
Okay.
which puts him well behind virtually everybody I'm talking about here.
Mark Few?
John Beeline's not coaching right now, is he?
It's Bob Huggins.
I forgot about Bob Huggins.
Name
Oh,
2. You still haven't hit 2.
Yeah.
I forgot 2 was alive. Number 2 is Cliff Ellis.
What the?
What?
At
Where
Coastal
is he?
Carolina.
Is he coaching
He's
at
been at
Coastal
Coastal
still?
Carolina for 15 years. He's
my
number
God.
2 behind Bob Huggins in this.
Wow.
But you look at it and you think about Izzo's getting older.
Right.
Izzo never struck me as the guy that's going to stick around until he's 80.
I don't.
He's flirted with the NBA too many times.
Yeah.
All of his guys are leaving too, and there's a change in college basketball. They're all these coaches made their bones on being able to, really motivate these players, get them to play in a system, and now everything is adapt to the players. You know what I mean? So Hubert Davis, I just saw yesterday how he's got Armando Bacot shooting threes. He's got everybody else on the team shooting threes. He's trying to go more, NBA style with it. And these guys, I think they just were so successful in what they did. I hate to see them go. They're all legends, but I do think there's going to be a breath of fresh air at these universities. I think they're going to get players that are excited to be able to be a little more. And Coach K was a loose coach. He kind of said, I've got talent. I'm going to roll the ball out there and let them do their thing. And Roy Williams had a fun offense, it was fast-paced. But I think with these young guys getting in there, they know these players a little bit better than, it's a different generation now. Yeah. Nolan Smith and Jon Scheyer and these guys relate way better than a Coach K does. And that's crazy to say despite, him being such a great coach. But it's going to be, for Carolina and Duke, I think a breath of fresh air. And it's going to be different, but I think they're still going to be the class of college basketball.
Yeah,
nothing's going to change.
It's only crazy to say because we haven't lived in this world.
No, it's crazy to say.
Coach,
we haven't been alive.
One day, a 74-year-old man can't connect with an 18-year-old kid in 2021. That doesn't sound crazy to me. That's the point.
It does to me when it's K. It does to me when it's Roy. It was never not connecting. I think there's a bigger problem in college basketball, and if you look at the hires, it screams it. You're not going to see the Ks anymore. You're not going to see somebody stay at these places for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over. You're not going to see it again. Let me ask you a question. Of all the coaches that have been hired, name me one that you think will have the longevity to be around even 10 years. I'm talking rosiest colored glasses. Hubert Davis would be 62 years old.
You have to watch what you say in every press conference.
I don't see it in any shape, form, or fashion. I don't, because the way that that you're being asked to do things now is too damn tedious for somebody to sign up for and go, yep, I'm going to do this for 30 years. Because when the K's and the Boeheims and the Roys and the Deans and all those guys, you would recruit a kid and you had him for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Now you recruit a kid and you get him for 3 months. Mm-hmm. So you're putting in the same level of effort, but you're having to do it 4 times as often.
Yeah.
So one of two things is going to happen. Either the rules are going to change, which is what I think it is, or you're going to see massive turnover and you're never going to have. The thing about college basketball is even when you lost the players, it didn't matter. Because if you're a Duke fan, you had K.
Yeah.
I root for K. I hold up Krzyzewskiville signs and bullshit like that. You don't have that anymore. Because you're not going to connect with Jon Scheyer that way. Mm-hmm. Period. You're not. I don't give a damn how good he is. I don't care if he comes out and wins a national title his first year. You're still not going to connect with Scheyer the way you did with Krzyzewski.
Oh,
there
yeah.
were 35 years, or let's see, he got there in 80. So it's 41 years of connection with K. You can't build that again.
Oh, that's all people know. People, sports fans right now, all they've known is K as the head coach. So
he was hired 2 years before I was
And I think some of that credibility that Roy and Coach K and some of these guys built up helped them. But it is like a lot of the things that I saw on Twitter last night were of people saying, Coach K, one last thing before you leave, I want you to pull a player to the side and give him a life lesson, because Coach K did that in the handshake line or whatever. And then different things that Roy would say in a press conference that he means well, but he's just, they're from a different generation. And every time they say something and they have to hear it in every press conference, that it's got to get old to them, and they see what's coming. They see this landscape that you can't make a mistake anymore. You can't say the wrong thing. You can't have good intentions in trying to help a kid, but say the wrong thing and you'll get demolished. So they had credibility behind them, but it is every coach now, on top of a really hard job in coaching these kids that aren't getting paid, that all want to be in the NBA. It's already a tough job. Then you got to deal with the media, and if you say anything slightly off, it can be construed the wrong way.
It is completely a different generation, and I'm not surprised at all to see these septuagenarians or whatever they're called, these 70-year-old guys not being able to connect with kids in this generation. And look at Roy Williams this past year. How many times after a game did Roy Williams say, I'm trying to tell them, I'm trying to impress upon them the fundamentals of the game, take care of the basketball, hit the boards, all this stuff, and they're just not listening.
Different things matter to kids. It's not that they can't connect. Like Coach K, I watched a bunch of videos yesterday of him telling old Team USA and Kobe Bryant stories to Zion and RJ and Cam and all these guys, and they were attentive, they laughed, they listened, they took good lessons from it, but the values are different for kids these days. It's not as much team-oriented. Everyone realizes, okay, this NCAA system's kind of been messed up, and we're just going to be out for us the same way the NCAA was always out for them. Right. And it's not right, but it's what kids are thinking now. And everything's about optimizing my time, my career, the money I can make. So it's not a team game anymore. It's different priorities for kids.
I will tell you, as somebody that has coached in this generation, that's the problem. What you just said is the problem. Is that, and this is what I've tried to tell you for years, because you're one of those, we have to let them capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. This is not fair. They're just making all this money for the university, and they're making nothing for themselves. Well, here's what you've done. You've entitled every one of these kids. Every one of them. Every kid that comes out thinks they're the next Kobe Bryant. Every one of them. Listen to these kids talk. They have all been the best player on every floor they've ever played on. So now you don't have the Krzyzewskis, the Roys. What do you think's going to happen? You're talking about not connecting? I think that's total bullshit. I do. I think it's complete and utter bullshit. I'm not connecting with them. No, you're not connecting with them the way that you want to. They're still listening to a Mike Krzyzewski more than they're going to listen to a Jon Scheyer. Because here's what happens when you get 7 AAU All-Stars to show up at Duke and Jon Scheyer's the one trotting out the ball. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to. How's that sound? You're going to see the AAUification of college basketball get even more drastic at the high side. Because now you've got guys like Juwan Howard and Hubert Davis and Jon Scheyer and I'm
Penny Hardaway, former AAU coaches.
Penny Hardaway. You've got all these former players that grew up in the same era. When did the NBA come off the rails? When all these guys were playing. Mm-hmm. That's when it happened. And I'm not saying that they don't know the beauty of the game or anything like that. What I'm saying is the great tacticians of the guys that I watched coaching films of to learn how to coach this game,
right,
they're all gone. And you have to ask yourself, why are they all gone?
Yeah.
Because of what you've been doing for a series of years. It's what I've been trying to tell you from the coaching perspective. Stop emboldening these players. Because they're coming in with attitude that you can't get rid of in 6 months. Mm-hmm. You can't coach it out of them at these highest levels. These guys that know, I don't have to go to class. I don't have to do shit. I don't have to do anything you tell me. I'm here to put on a uniform, show up for 30 games, and then go put on my NBA uniform.
But that's my thing. I don't think it's the players' problem or the coach's problem. I think it's the NCAA. I think it's the system's problem. Like I said it in a few episodes back. Like, we put it all on these kids, but if you're a Zion that goes to college and you've got 1 million something followers and you can put up a teeth whitening brand and make a bunch of money for your family, get you a car for school, do all these things, and any other job at that age you could do it, but the NCAA tells you no, of course that's going to breed some resentment because they see how many people are filling the arenas. Mm-hmm. The year that Zion was on Duke, there wasn't an empty seat in any arena, home or away.
Right.
Like, we both went to the ACC tournament that year and they packed out the Hornets arena. Like, it was insane. And if you're looking at that,
you went to a different tournament than I did because that was by no means packed out.
I mean, for a college basketball game at the Hornets arena, the whole bottom level was full. The top was half full.
The top wasn't even close to full. You
we
could have
must
walked
have been
in
there
that
those
stadium.
different days.
I was there for every day.
Yeah, the Zion year.
And I was sitting with the Florida State guys on the sideline because we're friends with one of Leonard.
Yeah, I was up at the top, elbow to elbow with some old people.
I was all over this arena. The packed out thing, no. The ACC tournament back in the 90s, you couldn't get a seat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was the best thing that came to Greensboro.
It's not the same, but still, the year that Zion was there, everyone was tuned in. Obama was coming to games. All these NBA players that would never show up at college basketball games were going to watch him. He was a market within himself, and they told him, you can't profit off, we're not going to pay you that. We don't even have to have that discussion, but you can't make money off your socials that you grew in high school. So of course that's going to breed resentment. It's the system. They, like you said, players being in class and not wanting to be there. Yeah, that's stupid. They shouldn't be there if they know where they're going. But if the rules change.
See, that's the problem. This is that idyllic world that for some reason people the existence of being in the world now is this idyllic, they all
But this is something you can get done.
No. But what you're missing is they all think that.
Yeah, but that's their choice.
Do you know how many players are in the draft right now?
Yeah. They're going to shit out.
Am I going to take a stab at how many early entrants there were into this year's NBA draft?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's 280?
280.
There's 60 fucking picks. So every one of them think that. That's the problem, is that everybody's so worried about all these things that don't matter. Oh, you need to be able to capitalize on your social media. Hey, I'm in control of the cameras today, so I can do this. Fuck your social media. I don't care about your social media. I don't care about any of that. And all of that is what's running out the Krzyzewskis and the Ks and the reason John Balin didn't take a job this year, and on and on and on. Because these guys that have a choice, they don't want to. I don't want to deal with you. I've made $75 million in my life. I want to sit home and talk to people that actually give a shit what I say. I don't want to recruit this kid and have to kiss the ass of all these high school coaches and all these runners and all this bullshit. I don't want to do it. And so now you're stuck. And I like Juwan Howard a lot. I got news for you. NBA job comes open. They offer him front office control. Bye, Juwan. Mm-hmm. Straight up. There's no doubt about that.
But that's the shitty system, because if players, if they were allowed to go to the league straight away and they didn't have to worry about eligibility and all these different things, the people that would be in college basketball would want to be there.
Right.
So they wouldn't give a shit about going to class because they're there to play college basketball. They know that's the highest level of basketball they can get to. There's going to be a ton of kids that are playing that. Yeah, you're going to get the kids that go to the league and shouldn't and don't get drafted and ruin shit, but that's their choice.
That's their choice,
and that's everyone else that's that age is choice in any other field. So I just don't know why we can't give them the choice to do it here. And yeah, like, you might not give a shit. Most people, fans, don't give a shit about these people's social media. But if you've got family back home waiting on you to make it somewhere, and you've got to go to this 1-year detour in college.
I fully believe you should be allowed to jump straight from high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That needs to change.
It's a myth that they've got people waiting back home. Cool, that fixes it for about 3 of them a year. Other than that, there's a shitload of Rashard Lewis's.
I think it's just that
Corleone Youngs and on and on and on. It's not this ready-made fix.
Yeah.
Just because you've got family back home needing money doesn't mean that you're going to get it. And in large part, I want you to think about this. How many, as time has gone on, Krzyzewski we widely regard as the greatest coach of all time.
Yes.
Right.
A Florida State fan, a Carolina fan, and a Duke fan. We can universally agree Krzyzewski is the best coach of all time.
Yeah.
How many players have come through that Duke program that have really been successes in the NBA?
I mean, a ton. 3? I mean, I could
Name
name
'em.
So Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Grant Hill.
Grant Hill was 25 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of the exception that proves my point.
Luol Deng played 13 years.
And was terrible in the NBA.
Yeah, and
He made
but
a
it
lot
was
of
different.
money.
But in the past few years, I mean, the
You're
Brandon
not listening to
Ingrams, the
the question,
Zions,
Brandon Ingram hasn't done jack shit.
he
Hasn't won
scored 28
playoff
points a game in the NBA.
Hasn't
Everyone
won-
else would kill for that.
Hasn't won a playoff game. Not one.
But what's successful to you then?
You're
Winning
you're
or
missing my
being
point.
successful?
Winning
He got a
that's
max
the point.
getting a max contract on your
See,
second deal.
what he
successful.
just said. That's exactly what I'm trying to prove. What are you, 5 years younger than me?
Something like that.
It's something like that. I don't actually know.
Ish.
Like that.
You're kind of the bridge between me and the current generation.
Yeah.
What he just said is exactly the point I'm
I'm a
trying to prove.
millennial.
What is not quite.
All about the money. All about the money.
All about the money.
What is the point of basketball? It's one word. Winning. That's it. That's all that matters. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. And see, this is what I've been trying to say about the NBA.
That's it. Winning
is that you're literally taking away. Nobody gives a fuck if you win an AAU. Nobody cares. Name me really successful AAU basketball players. I'll wait. Because you don't know, and I was in it. And hell, I don't know. I know guys that were on teams together. I know Zion Williamson and John Morant played on an AAU team together. And nobody knew it. Nobody knew who John Morant was.
DeAndre Hopkins did dunk on me one time from the Cardinals. He's a good receiver and a good ball
Steph Curry
player.
hit about 9 threes right here in my office. I witnessed it. But that's the point. This is what I've been. We live in this world where I know we don't talk about politics, but I'm going to do this. Democrats spell this narrative of everything's all wonderful and hunky-dunky and it's this utopian society. No, it's not. If I hear the term best case scenario or in a perfect world, it's not a perfect world. It's not a perfect world. It's a selfish world where most people are out for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what the world is. So stop saying in a perfect world. That's not where we're at. And so, in a perfect world, every kid that was a really good high school basketball player that needed to cash in the pros, they'd be able to. They don't. You know why? Because it's a hard, cruel, capitalist world. And that's what it is. And nobody's telling these kids, hey, stop fucking doing that. But it's Deshaun Nix, if somebody had been in his ear going, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
You're not. And you know who had the cachet to do that? Guys like Mike Krzyzewski. Guys like Roy Williams. You know why they're gone early? And look, I understand saying that a 72-year-old man retired early. He did. Between the three of us, Kay could have gone for what, 10 more years? Wouldn't have shocked a damn soul.
He's had a lot of health stuff. He's had surgery every offseason.
All right, let's say it's 5.
Yeah.
So you lose him 5 years early because nobody cares what he thinks anymore, player-wise. The players don't care. They're all about the brotherhood. They're all about all this bullshit.
Right.
My question to you was, who has gone to the NBA and been a real difference maker? You said Jason Tatum. Okay, I'll agree with that one. Kyrie Irving's been on 3 teams in, 5 years? And was the number 1 pick.
And won a championship
argue,
against one of the best teams we've seen in a lot of years.
You give that one to Kyrie and not LeBron.
No, I'm saying it was them too. They both had like 40-something points a game that series. It was insane. Like the scoring was insane against one of the best teams we've ever had.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying 3 teams in 5 years.
I mean, yeah.
And I could make the argument that if Kyrie doesn't win a title with this Nets team, I could make the argument he's a bust. Not saying I would be right, saying I could make the argument.
Right.
Oh, he's put up numbers and all this good. Cool. He has contributed to winning with LeBron.
Okay.
I mean,
so they go on to the
players win
NBA.
a
They're
championship.
They
not,
go
they're
to the
not
NBA
successful.
and it's this, because even Krzyzewski can't.
Is Shane
get through
Battier successful with his 6 championships?
25 years ago. That's my point. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the last 10 years. You've got
Well, they've
who?
got a ton of top end talent, but only 10, 15.
But that's my point.
Only a couple
None of
people have
them
won
contribute
championships
to
in the last
winning.
10 years. Every LeBron team is the one winning championships. So all these other teams,
That's not true.
going to the finals
The
in
team
whatever
that was
side.
beating them
But-
sideways had Steph Curry, who was in school for 4 years, Klay Thompson,
Yeah.
who was in school for 4 years.
But that's what I'm saying.
Draymond
You've
Green,
got
who was in
these-
school for 4 years.
you've got a couple-
That's not a fucking accident.
Yeah, but you had a dynasty of the Warriors during that time. You had LeBron always coming out of whichever conference he's in. So only a certain amount of
you're
people
saying
get
that
to the
LeBron-
finals every year.
So you're saying that the only impediment to Brandon Ingram winning titles?
No, of course not. I'm just saying everyone's
you
not going to
mean the
make
guy
it.
can't make the
You
playoffs?
can bring that up about every other college team because only a
No.
certain amount of people, only 20 people really play in the finals every year.
I mean, Carolina.
Out of hundreds of
How many guys have come out of Carolina and
That
been?
kind of proves my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my point. Is that you see all of these one and dones that go, and Roy can't get through to him,
Mm-hmm.
and Izzo stopped getting through to him. Izzo's next, by the way.
Yeah.
And Boeheim's next,
I think
but
Boeheim's
Izzo's not far behind.
they're going to
Because
be
he's fed up too.
they're going to be a nice foursome on the golf course.
And
in a
I'll
couple
just tell
years,
you,
for
as
sure.
somebody that's coached these kids, I'm telling you, it gets really fucking infuriating to try to coach something and it goes in one ear and out the other. And then you watch the play and you go, huh, that's not at all what I said. And I heard it in Roy, I've heard it in Kay, I've heard it in Izzo, I've heard it in Huggy Bear, I've heard it in all of them. And you're going to lose them all. And then you're going to have guys like Jon Scheyer and Hubert Davis and guys that were great players. Do you think any of these guys are great tacticians of the game? These are great X's and O's guys? Mm-hmm. No. You just had the two biggest jobs in college sports come up in the same, 3-month period?
Yep.
You had to hire 2 former point guards. That's what you hired.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, people said, "Oh, they could have hired Quinn Snyder." Quinn Snyder wouldn't have given
No,
them
they
the time
couldn't.
of day to watch.
No,
them.
they couldn't hire him. I was
Tommy
just talking about
Amaker, I'm going to be really
assistant
honest with you.
coaches.
Tommy Amaker's pretty comfortable at Harvard. You know why? Because he can recruit high-end talent. Because it's still an Ivy League school, and they're the best Ivy League school by a mile. He's got job security for days, and he doesn't have to deal with one-and-dones. John Balin. You know why John Balin didn't take jobs when he had the opportunity? Because trust me, teams called. Just so happen to know this because I'm pretty reasonably well connected to West Virginia things. The reason he didn't take the Wake Forest job, they called. I tell you straight up, they called. And he said, nope. Because what I have to recruit to win in the ACC is too big of an impediment to me. It taxes my life. Why would I want to do that? Why would you want to do that? And so now the whole model, what I'm saying is the whole model is broken. And I don't think there's a way to fix it. And I think now you've run away the legends of the game, and I think you're just screwed. I think I have said college basketball is headed down a vicious cycle forever.
I disagree. How
does it work?
Screwed. How does it work?
How does it work?
We adapt to everything.
We adapt. We adapt and survive.
Changes happen.
We adapt. The NCAA doesn't adapt to shit.
Well, they're going to have to.
This does not matter what
They're going to have to. They're being forced to.
They never have.
Yeah, they have. They have.
What did they adapt
They
to?
have adapted over the last 5 years. After
now things are
sued
coming into
over
law.
and over and over again. They're giving the players the empowerment.
So you mean they've adapted to the thing that's killing them? Hot.
You have to.
Hot. No, you didn't have to.
Oh, absolutely you did. You want to talk about ruining college basketball? You tell these kids to fuck down a road and see what happens. None of them will go to college anymore.
Okay.
Oh, and then college basketball is.
First of all,
gonna
the
miss
idea
that
that none
money.
of them will go to college is one of the dumber things you've ever said on the show. You do realize that they've been telling them to go fuck themselves? How many went to the G League Ignite this year? Oh, it was this huge problem. It was 6.
Yeah.
Six.
And
Six
if the
guys.
NCAA
And 5 of
doesn't
them
change
were
its
top
ways,
it's not.
it's going to continue to happen.
Okay.
I mean, it ends up becoming international basketball. It said, I mean, America could do that.
Well, see, my way would keep the high-end coaches and would keep these coaches from leaving continuously. Because you're about to have the mass exodus of great Hall of Fame level coaches.
But it's
and guess what
time.
you're replacing them
They've
with?
been there 40 years. It's time.
And you don't want
Tom
to.
Izzo has not been there 40 years.
I mean, it's a different era.
Bob Huggins hasn't been there 40 years. Bob Huggins took a great big break right in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. He's coached 30 years. First of all, Bob Huggins is younger than my dad is. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Bob Huggins is 62 years old.
Okay.
Or I think he's 62.
And think about the divide. And if you've got young people in your family and you've got old people in your family, think about the divide between a 60-year-old and an 18-year-old. You know, and yes, player empowerment has made the game different.
100%.
Of course it's made the difference.
It's made it worse. See, this is all a great... all right, I want to prove a point.
Okay.
In the comments, we have that good nucleus of people that watch us every day. Mm-hmm. How many of you absolutely refuse to watch NBA basketball? Just a little hand icon, a me, an I, a whatever you want to do. And I am 100% going somewhere with this. Just refuse. I will not watch the NCAA, or I will not watch the NBA.
I mean, I'm a basketball nerd, and I barely watch it.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
yeah. Why do you barely watch it?
There's
two reasons that people get.
And I do watch it, but I only watch like my team until the finals or until the playoffs. But I mean, it's just a different game. I feel like they don't play hard until the end of the games. I mean, it's just different. But it's because they're so good. If you watch an NBA game, it's unreal. They'll be playing okay defense, and people just are shot makers now. The skills have gone up so much on offense that it's just scoring nonstop for 3 hours. Like,
yeah, I'll tell you, as somebody that's coached this game, what you just said, total bullshit. The skills have gone up. No, they haven't.
Oh,
the defense has gone down. The defense has gone down. 100%.
Well, it looks like that because
the skill is better, is what he's saying.
I understand that.
Yeah,
it's not. That's a fucking lie.
That's a lie. The three-point shooting, the Euro steps, everything that's happening on offense.
You mean the travel? You mean the three-step travel?
It is. But
it's literally a travel. It's in the book as a fucking travel.
Right, but that's what's opening up the offense so much is because you can do these things. You can do the jump into somebody, get fouled, and throw the ball up, and get 3 foul shots. Like, that's why all the games are in the 130s and 140s.
Entertaining version of basketball.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, you were agreeing with me in the most circular way I've ever heard.
No, yeah, that's why I don't watch basketball, because it's just this wide open thing until the last 5 minutes of the game, because there is all this offense. Like, that's,
well, here's the thing.
It's just two people scoring back and forth.
That idea that the offensive skill set is so much better now, that's bullshit. There's not a big guy that could have played in the 90s that's in the NBA right now. I can think of
Well, that's like
Joel Embiid.
toughness and paint type thing. But no,
Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't overly tough.
Back in
he
the
had
day,
the best feet I've ever seen in my life.
Who was going to guard a Kevin Durant?
Too.
Who's going to guard a Kevin Durant? People wouldn't even know what to do if you put these players 20, 30 years ago. They'd be doing weird, like shooting from the logo. They'd be doing Euro steps. People wouldn't know what the hell's going on.
They'd be laughing at them. That's exactly what they'd be doing, because they'd pick them up at half court going, you're shooting a contested 45-footer.
Well,
good for you.
Keep
doing
it.
Please keep doing it.
They're making it, though.
Okay. That's you do realize shooting from 45 feet that's not a good thing.
No, I know, but
it makes for a really good sports center.
But that's what opens up the floor. That, like Steph Curry and Dame Lillard being able to hit these shots, you've got to go guard them up past the key. You can't pack the paint and play like a damn zone defense like they did in the 70s and 80s, where everybody's around everybody. It's spread out now because everyone can pass, dribble, shoot. That's everything you learn in player development in AAU. Is you have to know how to out of the triple threat, attack, shoot the three. Everybody can shoot now. It's a way different game offensively.
Right, let me ask you a question. The most skilled offensive player in the NBA right now is?
I mean, you can't stop Kevin Durant.
Okay, Kevin Durant. Let's go. Kevin Durant was the one that I'd already prepared my rebuttal for.
Well, then you will.
You think he's more skilled than Kevin Garnett?
Toss you that pitch.
You think he's more skilled than Kevin Garnett? Because that would be his comp.
More skilled than Kevin Garnett?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're drunk. You're absolutely drunk as shit. Because Kevin Garnett could play both sides of the floor. Could play inside, could play outside, could do everything. He was a complete NBA basketball. Kevin Durant's 7 foot tall too.
But
before you tell me how tall Kevin Durant is.
Kevin Durant is 7 foot tall, and he has guard skills, can shoot threes, can drive, can pass, can block shots.
Kevin Garnett had better guard skills than Kevin Durant did.
Kevin Garnett
was a better ball handler than Kevin Durant is.
You're drunk.
You're drunk. Kevin Garnett.
We're drunk together.
Yeah, he actually got guarded. Kevin Durant doesn't. Kevin Durant sits at the three-point line and fires three-pointers on guys that are 5 inches shorter than him.
I mean, that's why it's so hard to
that every player that played in the 90s just laughs at what they watch now?
But
because name me a good defender in the NBA. Like a real Tony Allen. That's the last one I remember.
Yeah,
Tony Allen level defender. Like, you're in the NBA because you play defense.
When they want to do it. Like, Kawhi Leonard's a great defender. I mean, Marcus Smart
Kawhi
defends
Leonard
every
is
night.
in the NBA because he's a great offensive player. He just so happens to have hands that are as big as that.
But he was a defender before that happened, before his offensive game got developed in the Spurs.
Because he was a
wrong defender.
in San Diego State.
No, when his first couple years in the Spurs, all he did was be a long-rangey defender.
With Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
Yeah.
He was always this good.
But the thing that made him great was that he was a two-way player that could lock up the best wing, and he was good offensively.
If you took his offensive game away, does he have a role in this league?
Kawhi Leonard?
As a starter, as a high-end player.
Yeah, you've got somebody like Lou Dort that's just a defender and can't shoot anything. That's what I'm saying.
Can't shoot anything. He averaged 18 points a game this year.
Well, he got better.
Watch the games. He was one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Well, he had to develop.
That's just straight up a fucking fallacy.
Last year when he played with the Thunder, he was shooting air balls. But he was playing playing all game because he was a defender.
What did he have to learn to do to be a starter on the worst team in the NBA? He had to learn to shoot.
Yeah, but you said if you took away
on the worst team in the league, he couldn't start. Because that's the guy you used. But high-end defender.
He was playing a ton.
Couldn't get water off of. He didn't play a ton. He played about 15 minutes
Dort
a night.
last year in the bubble.
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Beginning of the year, he couldn't get on the floor because he couldn't hit water off a boat.
He was an undrafted rookie.
So he had to learn to shoot. Because if you're just a defensive player, the one I thought you were going to say is Matisse Thybulle, and I was going to laugh because he is a high-end defender. I will give you that. He's an offensive player too. And guess what? He doesn't play as much as you think he does. That's the point. Is that people say, oh, there's this high-end skill in the NBA. No, there's not. It's the same skill that it's always been. Now a lot of shit's not called that used to get called. Apparently you can't travel anymore. You just pick the ball up and run with it from the fucking logo, and that's fine. But to say there's more offensive skill now is comical. I could name you 10 legendary point guards that played from the time I was born until 1999, and I couldn't name you 5 in the NBA right now.
I mean, there's just a difference.
Real good, legitimate point guards.
I mean, of course, if you're in the NBA, you've got great fundamentals and all those things. But player development now is insane compared to when I was playing to when you were playing. The things that they work on now compared to what we worked on
in terms of
the fundamentals.
But they work on. They work on the wrong thing. Or they don't work on the game of basketball.
Correct.
What they're working on is their athleticism.
And
what they're working on
skills.
is how can we? But it's not traditional basketball skill.
Right,
it's
that's
not so
fundamentals.
much working on your passing and your defense and all that. What they're working on is how fast can I make this motherfucker? How high can I make him jump? How many Sports Center highlights can I get him on?
Can he pass, dribble, shoot? Can he handle the ball? Can he shoot from wherever?
Okay, greatest player.
It doesn't matter as much as it used.
Greatest player of the last 25 years. Your top 3.
Past 25 years.
Since Jordan retired, name your top 3 players in the NBA.
Kobe, LeBron.
Never passed. That was the one I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
Kobe never passed.
He was
literally ever.
Yeah.
He was the greatest ball stopper in the history of time.
And you don't see that much anymore. Like, you can't have one player on a team that's just like, I'm going to shoot every time and not pass. Like,
did I just have a stroke? Three of them on one team.
How is that possible if they're all 3 shooting?
Harden.
How is one person shooting if all 3 of them are shooting?
Well, because they only have one ball there.
Right, exactly.
So
you prove my point.
Watch the next game.
Yeah.
This looks like the Suns back in the mid-2000s. Whoever crosses half court is either going to pass one time and lead to a shot, or they're going to take it themselves.
James Harden is averaging over 10 assists a game.
Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do. He's the one who brings the ball up the floor. I mean, you're not going to watch an offense where he just runs up the floor and goes, #team gets mine. I mean, he did that in Houston. But when you've got 2 all-stars on the team, they're not going to do that. They don't run any semblance of offense whatsoever.
Everyone has multiple stars to win now. So, like, inherently, you can't have a Kobe that's like one guy that shoots every shot.
I don't understand how I'm not getting this point across. That's what every star does. Every star in the NBA.
Not to the degree that Kobe did.
Name me a non-ball stopper in the NBA. I mean, this was the big knock on Carmelo Anthony when he came out because he was a ball stopper.
Yeah.
Name me one that's not. Anybody.
To the degree of Carmelo.
Anybody that's a facilitator of offense.
Chris Paul.
LeBron.
Chris Paul's the last bastion.
LeBron is, I could deal with that because he does like to pass.
Yeah. That's his game.
And when it's game time and win time, okay, hey, watch this. I'm going to bring the ball up. I'm going to stand at the top of the key for 15 seconds, and I'm going to go at who's defending.
Every team has a player that's going to shoot the last shot, for sure.
Their star. It's their star, because they don't run any offense. Literally. Yeah. You remember back in the day we used to talk about what kind of offense a team ran? Yeah, you ever notice we don't talk about that anymore?
Right.
You know why? Because none of them do.
Because there's a couple.
No one does.
There's only a couple concepts that everyone runs anymore in the NBA. I mean, they run the pin down screen. They run the high.
That's a ball movement. That's not a concept. A concept
that's what I'm saying.
Motion, Georgetown, Princeton.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's all they run is those two. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that's the only plays that they run, plays that they run.
Because they all run high-low 1-4 isolation offense.
Because it's all spread out.
That's all any team in the NBA does.
Yeah.
There is no high-level concept in the NBA.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's happening in college now.
Because
that was kind of my point, is that the coaches that could actually install an offense, they're all gone.
What's the goal in offensive basketball?
To get an open look inside the paint, to
get the best open shot. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. They're spreading it out, having shooters everywhere where they can say, okay, it's just going to be 2-on-2 getting to the paint in this pick and roll, or we're going to run some kind of off the pick and roll. We're going to run some kind of back screen to get somebody open for a three on the backside. That's all they're doing is spreading it out and making it to where there's less congestion in the paint and there's more like people just basically playing 2-on-2, whatever, because then they can drive to the paint with their ball handling, then kick it out, then throw it around the key, try to get the open three, or get the guy to pump fake, go around the defender, and drive to an open lane. It's not the same game as it was back in the day where it was so congested in the lane, and you had to run different things.
Right. Nobody can play that.
We don't have any.
It got phased out.
The NBA, right? But the NBA has phased all of this out. The NBA has, because offense sells. Because it's all about the money.
Well, it doesn't, because the ratings have been down forever. And you listen to
that's why they changed the rules. You're right about why they did
this is not that there's two reasons the NBA is not selling.
But that's the
we
result.
don't talk about that on this show.
Right.
The other one is because the game is fucking hard to watch at times. Mm-hmm. I mean, it literally, honest to God, looks like it looks like minor league basketball at times because the defense is terrible. Mm-hmm. Because somebody's going to get an open shot every time.
It's track, man.
And I am so tired of hearing the offense is just so much better today than it was back then. No, it's not. It
can be a combination of both. It can be people don't play defense until the playoffs, and that's why the game sucks in the regular season. And it can also be that the offense is better.
Look at the scores of the games from last night.
No, I know.
And you had one team that
they're
couldn't
worse
hit
in the regular
off
season.
a bridge. 129 to 112.
I'm not saying the game's more watchable.
126 to 110.
Yeah, and during the regular season, it's 140 to 130.
That's the point.
Yeah,
that's my whole point.
I'm agreeing with you.
Is that it's just an unwatchable brand of basketball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now you're taking away the very few that can actually install an offense, and college is becoming the exact same way.
Yeah.
That's a problem for the NCAA. And there's not a fix. You're talking about the NCAA is going to have to adapt. No, they're adapting to all the things that they shouldn't. This is like this. Let me give you an example. This would be like a kid pitching a fit in a grocery store because they want a toy or something, and so you buy 10 of them. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think is going to happen next time? What do you think is going to happen next? Because if you think that this name, image, and likeness thing, here, you can make $9 off your social media, pat you on the head. Because I've read this bill, and it's not player-friendly at all. So you know what the next fight's going to be, right? We don't make enough. Mm-hmm. And it's a never-ending fucking cycle.
Yep.
At some point, you have to tell people, no! It's my favorite word in the English language. No! And nobody says it to college kids anymore. And now we're here. Yeah. And now we're here. And I'm telling this is one of those Jeremy called his shot. Literally, as soon as I started doing radio with you, I said the future of the NCAA is in great peril. Mm-hmm. And you keep coming to these crossroads. And if you go right, you go down a sustainable path. If you go left, it's just another nail in the coffin. They've gone left about 15 times. Mm-hmm. And now you don't have the coaches. I mean, you just watch and see. It's just, weird. The highest rated games were Carolina and Duke. Average fan couldn't name you 3 guys that played for either one of them. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about that. It was about the name on the front. Mm-hmm. Well, the name on the front came from the Roys and the K's and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, now they're all leaving. Now they're all gone. And so the ones watching this show will watch Duke Carolina because we live here and we work for ESPN. Yep. And it's what we do. I don't care about us. They're not appealing to us. They're trying to get the ones that wouldn't watch. And you know what the ones that wouldn't watch are not going to do? Watch Jon Scheyer and Hubert Davis lead North Carolina and Duke in the Battle of Cameron. Nobody gives a fuck because they're not attached to these guys in any way. And so now you got players that stick around for 15 seconds. You got coaches that nobody has a emotional connection to. What do you think's going to happen? Ratings are going to go
What
down.
did you say? Coaches that nobody has an emotional attachment to.
Not the level you had with
Well, of course not. Of course not.
You
But
think the average fan looks at Jon Scheyer and goes, God, I can't wait to watch him coach a game?
No.
That guy looks
he's
like
not-
Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost.
But he's not coached yet, yeah.
But this is how they're born. This is how those personalities are born.
Nope.
It's probably when coaches back then, before
It's
Coach
not.
K said.
Because you can't birth one of those.
They almost fired Coach K.
Name me the young coach in the last 10 years that you've formed an emotional connection to. I'll wait.
Haven't had one.
My team's been the same.
I'm talking
for-
about
I'm not gonna-
name a coach in the country that you could have formed an emotional attachment. Let's say you didn't have a team and you needed a college basketball team. Name me the young coach that you would have formed an emotional connection to.
Not love, but I would hate John Calipari no matter what team I cheered for.
He's not young.
No.
He's
But,
almost 60.
I mean, yeah, it's a different time. I don't think.
That's the point. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a different
It's gonna
time
be
because you've
different.
done so much shit like this. We have to empower the player. We have to give them other. Okay, well, you've done that now. And here's the thing, and I can't believe I'm having to say this out loud because it's so ridiculously stupid that I can't believe it has to be said. You're empowering a player that sticks around for 15 seconds. That's stupid. That's like owning a business and screwing over the employees that are here for 25 years to kiss the ass of a temp.
But
You see how stupid that sounded when I said it?
you can be right, but it's half the blame on NCAA.
99.999% of the blame's on the NCAA.
Yeah,
and the
that's
NBA.
what. Yeah,
I blame
exactly.
the NCAA and the NBA equivocally.
Yeah.
Because the NBA had the greatest filter system in all of sports. Because we watch college basketball more at one time than we watch college football. Especially in the South, especially in there were places that you just watch more college basketball than you did college football. College football was not the juggernaut it was forever.
Yeah.
College football is now a juggernaut. Why? Why? Because you have teams that you can form an emotional attachment to. Alabama with Nick Saban, now Dabo who can't stop running his mouth at Clemson, Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, on and on and on. You don't have any of that in college basketball. Name me the villain now in college basketball. The team that you just hate. Used to be K. Used to be Carolina fans hated K.
I mean, it's always
Duke fans
Duke,
hated
yeah.
Roy. There was hate there. Who you hate now?
I mean,
You hate Jon Scheyer.
Everybody hates
You hate his
Duke,
stupid
but-
glasses.
yeah.
You hate the fact that he hasn't seen the inside of a tanning bed in his 33 years of life.
Yep.
I don't.
Yep.
I don't. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a Florida State fan. I'm the level of Duke Carolina fan you're trying to grab in. And I got news for you. This don't catch me even a little bit.
I completely disagree because it's still the administration. It's still Duke. It's one of the
I
guys
think people
that
are going to tune in.
I think it's one of the guys that we hated when he played against us. We will root against them hard and fast.
Yeah.
May not be to the same level.
And of
You
course,
will.
things are going to
That's the part
change.
that you
but-
just keep not understanding that I'm saying. You will. You're a Carolina fan. You don't fucking count. We're trying to find that this is how the NFL has just sucked up the whole sports landscape because they keep grabbing that casual fan, the one that just jumps in, jumps back out, buys a little merchandise, goes to a game, goes home, plays with themselves. They have us. I mean, Vigo the Carpathian could be coaching Duke basketball. You would still watch it. Same thing for Carolina with you, same thing for Florida State with me. That's not who we're after. It's that casual fan, the one that keeps dropping off, leading to the worst Final Four numbers we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just on and on and on and on, and it just keeps happening. And it's weird that nobody ever feels the urge to stop it and go, why is this happening? It's happening for one very simple reason, because you're emboldening the athlete that's here for 9 minutes.
Would it help if they went the baseball route where you
Yes.
can go straight to the pros, but if you go to college, you have to stay 2 years?
Yeah, I'm 3 years.
3 years.
I'm going to go one step further. If they don't do that in the next 3 years, college basketball, as you know it, will cease to exist.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. They've got to
Because
adapt.
you're at the pivot.
They've got to
But
That's
they
what they
never
have to
do.
adapt to.
That's like saying that.
Well,
That's
you
like
just
saying
said
the
they're gonna-
Republican Party has to adapt.
You just said they're going to
They
die
never
without
do.
it. Well, you just said they're going to die without it, so they're either going to adapt or it's going to go away.
I said this
and
5
then-
years ago.
Yeah.
They hadn't done jack shit. And,
So-
and I've watched it atrophy their game.
Yeah, and if they don't, then they are going to lose like their share, and they're at a certain point they're going to come down to it and say, okay, I can either make these changes, let people go, talk with NBA, make sure people can go straight to the NBA, but if they come to college, like I have to stay 2 or 3 years, we'll make the game better, and I'm going to see all the revenue that I would see from packing out these stadiums, from doing all the things we've been doing and making billions of dollars on.
Right.
So we're going to have to adapt, or we're just not going to be a thing anymore. Like something else is going to take its place.
There's no emotional attachment left in college basketball. There's none.
Right.
There is none left.
Which is why they have to
There
adapt.
is nothing that draws a number. Tom Izzo is the biggest draw in college basketball right now, and John Calipari and Bill Self. That is 3 of the most mundane human beings you'll ever see in your life, with the exception of Calipari. Other than that, there's nothing there. Juwan Howard, you really excited about Juwan Howard? You think that draws on a national level? No. Hell no. Regional? Hell no, it doesn't draw. Juwan Howard was the most nondescript NBA superstar ever. I didn't know what it sounded like when he talked until he took the Michigan job.
I don't know. I guess I'm too close.
You're
to
a diehard.
I guess I'm too close to it.
See, because I'm one of those, I've learned over the course of time, when I was a kid, I watched everything. I watched it all. I watched baseball. I watched golf before it became popular. I watched everything. Well, weird. I don't do that anymore. You notice that? And now I work in sports, and I don't do that. Why? Because if you don't earn my eyeballs, I'm not going to give them to you. Because I have a wife, and I have children, and I have a life. And so my sports is this Colin Cowherd line of pruning your sports tree. You only have so many hours of consumption. Guess what? You know what's really earning my eyeballs right now? Golf earns it to a low level. Sunday afternoons with Jim Nance, because it's fucking fantastic, and they have 9,000 stars. And many of them are relatable, and some of them are hateable. The NFL, by and large, college football, a little NBA. I think the NBA is trending towards with where we're going to get with the conference finals and the NBA final. That's it. The Major League Baseball does nothing to earn my eyeballs. Nothing. And I tapped out on it 23 years ago, and I've never come back. Guess what? College basketball, you're that close. You're so damn close, it's ridiculous. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And you have no interest in audibling this.
It's
I knew I was going to get this.
Audibling it to what?
The one and dones and the G League and all this shit. The NBA is doing all of these things to insulate themselves. What's college basketball doing? Oh, we'll pay you for your social media. How's that work?
No, they won't.
Right, because they have to compete in the marketplace.
That's not competing. That's not even kind of competing.
Okay.
It's not.
I mean, you're giving these guys an opportunity to come to college and make money rather than not go to college.
Or go to the G League.
Just make money.
Or go to the G League, take a salary, and do it anyway.
Yeah.
You get more eyeballs.
That's like
in college.
saying you got offered 2 jobs. One of them they're going to pay you $150,000 and let you do whatever the fuck you want, or you can go make $0, be an intern and volunteer, and well, you can do whatever you want there too. That's a pretty easy decision. See how stupid that sounded when I said it?
I think.
Tell me where I'm wrong. That's exactly what it is.
No, you're right. That did sound
You can either go make a $150,000 salary for nobody to watch your games and capitalize on your social media and go do TikTok and whatever the hell you want to do, or you can go to college, make $0 and do the same thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't wait to go play for Hubert Davis
Exactly.
or Jon Scheyer.
That's why they give them the opportunity to make money.
That's the point, is that you can already do that. If that's what if the money's what you're after, you're fucked anyway. Because you can't contend with their money.
The thing that today's players are drawn by, you've already said this, is money.
Adam Black,
and we know that
I don't know what it was talking about.
The prestige and the development are better in college basketball.
Top players went to college to go learn under Coach K, Roy, all these people, because the player development in that year that they would get at college would be more.
Who would help?
What do you mean?
Name me who would help. There's one answer to this. There's only one.
Who
did the year in college help? Name me the top 5 stars in the NBA. Anybody. Giannis Antetokounmpo, where'd he go to college? Fucking nowhere.
So
Luka Doncic, where'd he go to college? Fucking nowhere.
You have to stay
LeBron
out.
James,
And
fucking nowhere.
they developed, not LeBron, but like Luka and all these people in Europe developed in the European League, and then you've got
developed their game. Then they came here and they were really good.
You can't go to the NBA right out of high school, so you have to pick something you're going to do for a year. You either go to the G League with the whatever coaches, or if you have the capability and you go to, Coach K or Roy, somebody that you know is a great developer of talent that's worked with like the Kobe's, the LeBrons, all these great players.
Name them. Name the one that did this.
What do you mean, all the
we're
one
back
and
to
dones?
that unicorn idea again.
All the one and dones. You only have 2 choices. It's go with one of these
name
legends.
Me the top 5 players in the NBA. Hell, name me the top 10. I'd keep doing this.
What do you mean?
Name me the top 10 players currently in the NBA, and name me the one that went to college, made a name for themselves.
Did Kobe White have a better developmental year with Roy?
Kobe White's not a top 100
No,
player
I know.
in the NBA.
I'm saying though, if there's 2 choices, G League with some coaches, some random coaches, or a year with Roy in his system.
Well, Roy doesn't exist anymore.
I know that's what I'm saying. But what did he benefit? Like, which
Nothing.
one would you benefit better from?
He benefited
it's,
very little.
It's one or the other.
Well, currently, I would say in terms of sponsorship dollars, he probably makes $50,000.
Well,
the year at Carolina might have done enough to pay his rent on a high-rise in Chicago. That might be what he accomplished at Carolina.
No, that's what they were saying. I want to go be in this college basketball environment, play like these crazy games on ESPN against rivals, learn under great coaches, but I would also like, while you're making all this money off of me, to be able to use my social media or make whatever. But now it's different.
Actually adhering to what I asked.
Now it's different.
So let me answer him, since he will actually do what I asked. Adam Black, Steph Curry, 4 years at Davidson. You think Davidson really helped his? Or you think it really helped his model? That one little run in the tour or in the tournament, that's all that did it. Then he came into the league, could hit 40-foot 3-pointers, and everybody went, and he was Del Curry's kid. Kawhi Leonard went to fucking San Diego State. I guarantee you, not one person listening to the sound of my voice right now watched him play one game in college. Kevin Durant lasted 2 rounds in the NCAA tournament at Texas. And everybody and their brother thought Greg Oden was better than him.
What should Kevin have done instead of go to Texas?
That's not my point. He did what the system allowed him to do.
Right.
What I'm asking is,
what I'm saying.
Who did this system help? You keep saying this one and done system, all these things. This is why they would continue to do it. Name me the guy that helped.
I'm not saying that's why they would continue to do it. I'm saying that's why they've done it in the past.
They've done it in the past because they had to. Now they don't have to.
Right, and now these guys are gone. So people are going to be looking other ways. That's why they have to adapt to the 3-year system. Like, people aren't going to go to college for a year when they can go to the G League and make $100,000 because the coach is, in their eyes, the same level. Jon Scheyer is going to be the same level as whatever coach is, I forget who, Brian Shaw or whoever was the coach for the G League this past year.
Yeah.
So now that these coaches are gone, there's not going to be that same prestige. Like, I'm going to go to college as a top talent just to play for a Coach K or a Roy or somebody like that. So they have to adapt to that system where you let them go if they want to go, or if you come to college, you have to stay 2 to 3 years.
And I understand that, but the problem is that's not what I was talking about. He's talking about with adapting to the system and, we got to let them make the money. Okay, well, the G League's already done that. So the money's there. If you're going for the money, there's no way for you to win the money argument because they have more money than you do. So my question is, what exactly is going to get these guys to come to college? All right, the ones that are, okay, you got to come for 3 years.
But you're not.
Okay, I'll go make $150,000.
That's not what's going to make the college game better. You're not going to convince the top end talent to get there. What's going to make college better?
The top end talent's been gone for 40 years. That's an irrelevant moot point.
So if they do,
I'm talking about the 5 to 25 because I'm telling you, if you do the college thing, they're all gone. And I love the college thing idea because, like Adam Black said, Steph wouldn't have been remotely looked at it without his time in college.
Right.
The time in college is true. Yes, the tournament's not as accurate as you think it was. He's a first-round pick regardless. He became a high-end lottery pick because of what he did in the tournament.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was still a 40-some-odd% three-point shooter in college.
But
we all knew that. We knew what he was coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be different, though. The college game, when you adapt to that 2 to 3 year minimum model, is going to be for players that aren't in that, okay, I can make it to the NBA and be productive in a year or two. It's going to be the players that need the development, and there's still players out there like that. There's players like Obi Toppin that had to spend 3 years however many years at Dayton.
He left as a sophomore. Didn't play as a freshman, left as a sophomore.
Well,
had 1 year in college.
Well, he was like 20-something years old when he got drafted, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played at a JUCO.
It was all injuries.
Right. He played at a JUCO.
He played a year at a JUCO.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like Dayton didn't play much as a freshman, then came out as a gangbusters.
It's not going to be the top end talent, but I think people like that more if they can see the not the top 20 players, but every top player after that'll stay a couple years and develop. I think people will go back to that, loving the teams, being invested, seeing people year over year. It's not going to be the top end talent, but people are pissed right now anyway and don't want that top end talent staying for a year and leaving.
Right. I'm going to give my first ever 5 bell to Kelvin Joyner.
Okay.
The college system doesn't help lottery level talent. It does help the second tier players that need to be developed. Thank you. That's the only way this works for college basketball moving forward. The only way.
Yeah.
You have to be the minor league system for them. That's it. You have to get them away from this G League thing. And that's going to require Mark Emmert to do a lot of this. Just hat in his hand like, please, Mrs. Silver, could you help me out? Because I'm getting fucked over here. That's the only way this works.
Think Mark Emmert's going to come out in a mullet?
100%. Because the toothpaste is out of the tube. Adam Black just hit it out of the park, too. College is equivalent to single-A minor league baseball. Bingo. It's single-A minor league baseball where you care about the name on the front of the jersey. That's it. And they have to understand, your days of drawing big outside of the tournament are done. It's over.
So they've got to get back to that. Yeah.
So you have to get back to the model of building actual stars. Because you know what we've learned over time? Whether it's the XFL, the Arena Football League, the Ice Cube's 3-on-3 bullshit, you know what we don't watch as fans? Inferior product. As long as you market it to us as inferior product, we will not watch it. We will show up to minor league baseball stadium, eat 14 beers because they're $1, and we'll take home our little commemorative baseball bat glass that will sit in the back of our china cabinet for the rest of our lives.
Right.
That we will do, and that's what college basketball has to embrace, because now you've lost damn near all of the faces, and they will all be gone within 5 years, and you're not going to develop more because you don't have the eyeballs anymore. Just like Mark Few. Mark Few's been otherworldly. You think he's a star? You think Mark Few's a star?
No.
You think Scott Drew's a star?
No.
No, they're not. You know why? Because they're at schools that nobody gives a fuck about. They're little regionalized institutions. So in Baylor, I'm sure in Waco, Texas, Scott Drew hasn't bought a beer in about 9 years.
Yep.
You get to Houston, and all of a sudden people stop caring. And that's the problem.
Right.
You're a regionalized sport, and that's what it is.
Support for the Sportsocracy brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, the world champion in below-the-waist grooming for men. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY at manscaped.com. Get 20% off, and also they will pay for your shipping. Free shipping worldwide, 20% off for using the promo code SPORTSOCRACY at manscaped.com. Now,
the reason I'm so animated today, everything on me looks disheveled.
It's because you're free.
I woke up late. I'm just pissed off at the world. I haven't slept enough. But you know what is clean, lovely, just smooth as a baby's ass? Everything that you can't see. Thanks to manscaped.com, the Lawnmower 4.0. Boom.
Silky smooth.
Hey, and you know what? Here's another thing that we haven't said about Manscaped yet. Hey, Father's Day's right down the road.
Yes.
Your first home was your father's balls. Just remember that. It is time for you to get your first home a long overdue housewarming present. Manscaped.com. Promo code the Sportsocracy.
That's right.
Your mom will thank you.
How was that, Adam Black? I'm not quite to the level of whoever that comedian was he was telling me about.
Joey Diaz.
Joey, I don't know who the hell that is.
Okay.
Check out.
I watch this stuff on YouTube.
And you're a comedian.
Yeah, I don't watch other comedians very often.
It's worth the jujel.
Yeah. Is it as good as they say, Jeremy, with the ceramic blade that reduces grooming accidents with the advanced skin-safe technology?
I'm going to be really honest with you. I think you could do it drunk with one eye closed. That's how safe the bowl-safe technology is.
Okay.
I can't see to save my life, and I made it work. It's nice and.
I'm just saying, nobody wants to have a mishap when you're trimming the hedges.
Go to your kitchen right now. Pick up an egg. Pick up a kiwi. One feels much more aesthetically pleasing. Egg, kiwi.
Yep, pretty much. Anyhow, go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY for 20% off and free shipping. 20% off, free shipping. Promo code SPORTSOCRACY.
God, we're just running. We're going to run all fucking day today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not.
.com. Your balls will thank you. Brad Stevens is
We
gone
haven't
from
even
Boston.
started on Brad Stevens yet.
I did not realize what time it was. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
God, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to light a heater on fucking camera.
but you know what? It's fine. We don't have an afternoon show this afternoon
Chilling.
on ESPN Asheville, so
We're just gonna sit here and get drunk
keep doing
all
this.
day.
We're having a good time.
Well, I mean, somebody needs to bring the beers if we're getting drunk, because
WeekendWheatBrewing.com.
That's right.
They did just appear last time we asked on camera, but it's a little early today.
Very true.
So.
That is very true. Anyway, Brad Stevens is going to be now the president of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics. And Danny Ainge is out.
Hey, and why did Brad Stevens want to jump up to the front office?
Because apparently he was burnt out on coaching.
Because he was tired of dealing with players that don't listen. Weird.
The Celtics are going to be Jeremy's new favorite team when Carol Lawson and Becky Hammon are co-coaches.
Yep.
There's only one hire.
Yep.
There's only one hire for the Boston Celtics, and if they don't do it, I will condemn them forever.
Who is it?
The Becky Hammon, Carol Lawson thing, this is not the right spot for that. I'm just telling you. If you've never been to Boston, then don't speak if you don't know. But I'm telling you straight up, Boston is not the place for the first female coach in the NBA.
Ring that bell.
It's just not.
Nope.
It will go horribly badly because the first 4-game losing streak they go on, you're going to hear some vile, vitriol kind of shit. The Carol Lawson, Becky Hammon thing, that's a San Antonio, that's a Charlotte, that's a Orlando. One of these markets, I'm not saying a market that doesn't care, a market that's more respectable. Boston is the kind of shit that would boo their own grandmother.
Yep.
So that's not where you go.
Nope.
To me, there's one hire in Boston and one hire only.
Chauncey Billups.
No.
Big shot
Is
Billups.
that who you would hire?
No, that's not who I would hire for this job. If I was hiring for this job, I would probably go with Mark Jackson.
Hand down, man down. Mama, there goes that man. I do love Mark Jackson.
I would go with Mark Jackson.
That's not
I'm
my
waiting
pick.
for him to get his shot somewhere else.
That's not my pick. He pissed a lot of people off in Golden State. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's coming. It's certainly not coming with Boston.
No, it's not coming with Boston because that's one thing that they really don't want. An outspoken Mark Jackson in Boston.
Who's your pick to be Boston head coach, Tom?
I don't want to say who it is. Yeah, right. I don't want to say who it is because I know that's. I heard you say this morning who yours was.
So you
and
agree with me?
It was along the same lines. Yeah.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say this. I'm even going to zoom in on myself because this needs to be said. There is a coach in the NBA that has a tie to the Boston Celtics. Would be the ultimate hire with Brad Stevens up in the front office. And it's somebody that my Florida State loving ass just so happens to have a great big affinity for. It's hire Sam Cassell. Do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. He should have been a head coach in this league forever ago. This is a guy that's been underneath some of the great head coaches in this league. He's universally just loved. He would fit in perfectly in Boston. He's been an assistant there under Doc Rivers. I cannot impassionately plead enough. Hire Sam Cassell! Now.
According to the odds that were posted yesterday by Sportsline, he is the favorite at plus 300 to get this job.
I had this pulled up before I came in today and heard who Jeremy's pick was. It's a tweet from yesterday that says, Sam Cassell's been an assistant for 12 years, one of the best in the NBA. He's been kept from a top job because he had a big mouth and a rep for brashness as a player. You know what would do great in Boston as a head coach? Someone with a big mouth and a rep for brashness as a player that won't give a shit about what the Boston media or anybody has to say, and he'll just coach the guys up. He's respected in the league. He's a former player.
Who was the last successful head coach in Boston?
Brad Stevens.
Nope. It was the Larynx. Doc Rivers himself.
Doc Rivers.
And you know who learned the craft
just
underneath
because
Doc
he won
Rivers?
a title?
Every year there's one winner and 29 losers. So
You know who also came up under Doc Rivers? Tyronn Lue, and he knows one
not
play.
nearly as long.
One play.
Not nearly as long.
That
Tyronn Lue was
Did you
under Doc
see-
Rivers for like 3 years.
Did you see the picture of him with the clipboard and it just has like play LeBron shooting and he marked it out and just put Kawhi?
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
100%.
It's fantastic.
Now, to me, it's Sam Cassell. No doubt. And I hope they do it right now. This is a guy that should have been head coach in this league forever ago.
Yeah, I think Sam Cassell is a great choice. I am waiting for Mark Jackson to get his shot again in the NBA. I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, Jason Kidd obviously is going to be a guy that's talked about a lot. with him being an assistant with the Lakers now, and I
felt
felt
like he played in Boston underneath Doc Rivers. He did not coach there. He coached with him with the Clippers and the 76ers.
Okay, yeah.
I said that wrong. Just wanted to correct.
I like Vic's pick of Stephen A. Smith. I think he'd be a great coach in Boston.
Who?
Vic said Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Never lost.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm really going to say no. I mean, remember all that stuff Kyrie Irving was talking about Boston? I don't think so. I don't think Stephen A. Smith is going to be a character.
Stephen A. would have made it to the league if he didn't have a coach that didn't like him. We all know this.
Here's the thing. Did you hear the story about Danny Ainge?
No, you told me yesterday.
The straw that broke the camel's back here is Kyrie Irving stopping on the logo. And he tried to get the players corralled together to go confront the bastard. That was the exact term in the article. Yeah. And they basically just looked at him like, who cares?
Yeah.
That's the definition of what I've been screaming about for the last hour. Is that you just have a series of, you have a whole generation here that just can't be bothered to care about anything but themselves. And you know what? That might hurt, but it's the truth. We live in a society that loves to tell you they care about other people, and they don't. They care about themselves.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Danny Ainge used to kiss the logo for good luck before every game when he was in Boston. Did you know that? He kissed the logo on the mouth before the game. Every game. By the way, the sterility of that makes me I get a little verklempt.
Oh, you're grossed out by the fact that he would kiss the floor that guys walk on? It doesn't really exist anymore. No. I understand what you're saying with that. I really do. And it's sad that we don't have guys who live for the name on the front, not the name on the back.
No, we live in the way society is now.
Yeah, that's the way society is now. And so you got to find guys that are or gals that are going to be able to communicate and pull these guys together to be able to play together to win titles. It's not. Winning is now more of a team goal.
You got to babysit.
Winning is not an individual goal anymore. But all the individuals still have their individual goals. I need to get mine. I need to get the awards. I need to get the scoring title. I need to do whatever I need to do to make my situation better. That's the trick to coaching in this day and age.
Adam Black said he kissed wood. That sounds like a segue from Manscaped. By the way, I was. How do you spell the word segue?
Segue.
I was yesterday years old when I found that out.
Really?
Yeah,
it does look weird on you. I see what you mean.
I read a story that had the word segue in it. Oh, it was Pat McAfee. Because he said something about Miles Teller getting his ass kicked in Hawaii. And he said, nice segue wrestling, dick. And I saw S-E-G-U-E, and I went, what is that word? What is a seg?
A segu.
What is a segue?
Segu. It's French.
I said it out loud like 9 times, and I went,
right.
Was he aiming for segue?
Segue.
It's
I
French.
Googled it and realized, oh.
Yeah,
that's how that word's spelled.
I did that the other day as well with the controversy
I do like armchairs.
in baseball over the do-rag.
Oh yeah,
they're spelling it out D-U-R-A-G, do-rag.
Yeah,
I'd never seen it written down before, and I went, because I was reading the article and I'm going through, and he complimented on his durag. Oh, do-rag. Oh yeah. No, that's not how that's supposed to be spelled, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be D-O. Right?
Oh, by the way,
the hairdo.
And this is totally off topic of anything sports, but I have to ask.
Oh, good.
Oh, here we go.
My wife and I got into this conversation last night, and I think I improved the English language.
Okay.
What do you call someone whose spouse has passed away?
A widow.
A widder.
But it's only a widow if it's a female. If it's a dude, it's a widower.
Yes.
Should we not have used widower for the one that passed away? Would it not make more sense to make widow asexual, and it doesn't matter what gender you are, and your dead spouse is the widower?
You did just
because what do you call the spouse other than dead spouse? I tried for 20 minutes to come up with a term, and I couldn't come up with one, and it bothered me a lot. And I spent more time thinking about this than I wanted to.
It was quite the curveball from Sports Talk. My brain just went to two different places.
The segue thing started it with me because I had just read the segue thing when we got into the widower discussion.
Right.
I drove a segue.
And then we got into this discussion about how John Stamos and Rebecca Romaine were like the most attractive couple in the history of time. Shit gets weird.
Interesting.
Especially when we're watching a show from like 23 years ago. Mm-hmm. If you're single, find you somebody that you can watch a show from 23 years ago with that has no idea what's about to happen, which makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're single, use Manscaped to say silky
100%.
Silky smooth.
She said in the comments that she had no complaints. When a guy like me can get a girl like that, I'm obviously doing something right. Manscaped.com. Promo code SportsOcracy. Save you 20%, get you free shipping.
What a deal.
That is a hell of a deal. So you think Sam Cassell needs to be the hire for the Boston Celtics?
We've gone super off the rails.
Yeah, if they did it any other way, are they doing it wrong?
Yep.
You don't.
Jonathan Welch just said. I'm not trying to go back to the winner thing, but I have to.
Okay, go.
He did exactly what I did. Because you keep calling them the dead ex-wife or the dead ex-husband. It's not an ex-husband.
No.
You didn't actually split up.
I mean, they are
died.
ex. They are.
See?
They are ex.
That is the reason that this is a thing. That is why I brought this up. This is why it has bothered me for 14 freaking hours now. I'm going to call them
they are an
Webster
ex.
and be like, I'm fixing this shit.
They are an ex-person. So, I mean, technically it would be.
Where else can you go from talking one and dones and how screwed the NCAA is to
exactly.
talking about
breaking news?
Dead wives? What?
The USFL is returning.
What?
The USFL is officially back. 8 teams, Fox broadcast deal. Oh boy,
I tried to care a little in my soul. I just couldn't muster.
Oh no, there's a reason.
Couldn't muster.
Okay,
the
what's
care.
the reason?
What else is coming back in spring of 2022?
XFL.
There you go.
Oh, I care about that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You can't care about one, not care about the other. So where the hell do you think the players are going to come from?
It's not the USFL.
One can work, both can't.
Yeah.
Because where is the player pool going to come from? Mm-hmm. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has to be looking at this going,
I'm going to play for The Rock.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. I'm going to go play for The Rock on that one. Yeah.
Are you? The USFL has a Fox TV deal.
It's The Rock.
Yeah, what is their deal going to be?
people's
What's
champ.
XFL's deal going to be?
The XFL was on what, ESPN?
Yeah, I think so. The Tampa Bay Vipers played on ESPN a couple times, I think. It's the only time I ever watched it.
He hate me.
And I didn't care. I watched it.
All I remember is
God,
he
this
hate
is
me.
bad.
It's
This is
Fox
bad.
Sports, so
Yeah.
they might end up on
Yeah,
like
they're going to be on
Isn't that like
they're gonna
Bally
be on
Sports
Bally
now?
Sports
I was about to say.
Southeast or something.
Come check us out on Bally Fitness app.
I'm done. I'm done getting excited
Don't
about
talk
these
shit
leagues.
about that. I've talked to them.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
Shout out to Bally Fitness.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that's not like, hey, we're going to be on Fox, the big Fox on Sunday afternoons. I mean, it might, but here's the thing.
I mean, it's in the spring. What else are you going to watch?
Between the USFL, and I wasn't around for the first time. I get that they, fans really liked it, and then they tried to switch seasons, and it killed the whole thing. But
Donald Trump killed it.
oh, of course he did. The USFL, the XFL, the CFL, the AAF. I mean, how many times are we going to do this and get excited about it, and then it not
God,
be
how many things
worth a
did
damn?
Donald Trump kill?
I mean, America's one of them.
You shut your dirty hole mouth. God damn it, you stole my...
I can't believe what Donald Trump did to this country.
God, your Bernie Sanders makes me
Feel the burn.
God, it makes
Do you
me
feel it, Jeremy?
Donald Trump has ruined America.
Do you feel the burn?
Oh, God.
We are off the
We
rails.
don't
Tank
talk
is here.
politics.
See,
Tank is here instead of
And we're off
Brian,
the rails
and we're off the
anyway.
rails more than a normal show with me, you, and Brian on
That's
Thursdays.
fine. I mean, I'll let you guys roll on
No,
that
it's
whole discussion
fantastic.
because I thought it was great, and I didn't care that it lasted an entire hour, and I don't think anybody else did either because everybody was.
I really
cued
did not realize that.
Everybody
Well,
was cued in on the
10-20.
conversation.
Well,
so.
here's... Kelvin Joyner just said something in the comments that's interesting.
okay.
That minor league football will eventually work.
Mm-hmm.
And The Rock was trying to merge the XFL with the CFL. What if the XFL merged into the USFL?
Well, they should do.
And they used the team names as opposed to those god-awful XFL bullshits.
I mean, sure. Let's find a way to make it work.
I
But
think
they
that
haven't
could
been able
work.
to do it yet. That's my
I
problem.
think that could work.
It's not gonna
Use
be a
the
good
USFL
product.
teams because there are still people that were around and football fans of the USFL.
Yeah.
You use those team names. You update the logos. You bring in the Herschel Walkers and the Doug Flutys and the Steve Youngs.
You're not touching the Tampa Bay Bandits logo. That's still one of the best ones.
No, you just got to update it. You just got to make it, you modernize it a little bit.
So those seasons are at the same time in the spring. Yeah, you're not going to have a good enough product when the select player pool is going to be spread out across both leagues. I think they should merge, do something.
I think
they all should come together, yeah.
Make it two divisions. Make it AFC and NFC. Make it XFL and USFL or whatever.
This has been just a spicy day of takes, and we hadn't even gotten Monkey Knife out yet.
Oh, yeah. We still got to do that. We hadn't even talked about any of the basketball last night.
Holy God, we've been running for an hour and a half. We haven't even talked about the games last night?
Nope, we have not. And last night in
Show of hands, who thinks we need Tommy to piss Jeremy off more often? I forgot. I asked
you
that. I thought my hand raise was understood.
That's what I'm here for.
Looks a little odd. I
come in once a week and
that was almost
that could have been.
You want to know why I don't ever let you put your coffee next to my right hand?
Well, then get me a table or something right here, because I can't.
Well, there's only 47 of them. I mean, there's only like 9 square feet of space right there.
Yeah, but
it's also dangerous.
Man, I got to I don't know. Anyhow.
I like to come in once a week and just throw something out there that can get Jeremy's blood pressure going. You know.
I mean, there were no real surprises in the NBA last night. The 76ers wrapped up against the Wizards without Joel Embiid. It is what it is. Thank God we don't have to deal with them anymore. 76ers moving on to the next round to face off against the Atlanta Hawks, who beat the New York Knicks handily last night.
The Knicks laid down like I said they would.
And hey, did you see?
And then I altered as I made the fucking pick. I laid down. From now on, I embolden you, the viewers of this show, to correct me when I do this. Mm-hmm. If I waffle on a pick, don't let me. Don't let me. If I waffle on a pick, I'm wrong 90% of the time.
Yep. Make a waffle.
If I start with one, because I literally talked shit to Brian about Atlanta beating the Knicks, and then I waffled at the last minute.
And you went, no, Knicks will cover.
Knicks will win this when it matters. In spite of the fact that I had literally already said, no, they won't.
Yeah. No,
I need you all to keep me honest and go, no.
And it was exactly...
That's my problem in fantasy.
It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And then did you see Spike Lee got up and left with 3 minutes left in the game?
Yes.
Reggie Miller gave him hell. He was like, come on, man, you got to stay with your team. Reggie, I want that same fire for LeBron James.
I was about to say, Spike Lee lasted longer than LeBron did in Game 5.
He did.
Sorry, I can't be real upset about that.
Yeah, LeBron left 6 minutes early. Spike Lee ducked out with 3 to go. We all knew that was, we knew that was going to happen, even though Jeremy audibled his pick and got that wrong last night. 103-89. It was it was a beatdown, as I expected. Trae Young, he is becoming a thing. I really feel like he's going to catch on and be a big superstar in the NBA.
He's a very
in the
good
next few years. The Utah Jazz took care of business against the Memphis Grizzlies. I was hoping they were going to keep it closer than they did, but the Jazz win. They move on to the next round, 126-110. They will take on the winner of the Mavericks-Clippers series, which now is going back to Dallas with the Dallas Mavericks up 3-2.
5 games, 5 road winners. There's a series that does this every freaking year. Every year. And I had Dallas last night, and I'm so pissed off I didn't take them to the money line. I wanted to.
You do in
ring
betting.
the bell for me, because I actually said that last night.
He did.
Take him in the money line.
I go with him. I was like, I don't feel that good.
Yeah.
Just take him against the numbers.
Here's the thing. The one thing that I think has officially proved to me through last night's game is I now believe, where I didn't before, that Luka Doncic can be the best player on a championship team. They go out and get a superstar this year in free agency or through a trade or whatever. I honestly believe Dallas can win another championship.
I
think Luka can win.
Cool hand Luka can definitely be the best player on a championship team. The problem is they thought the number 2 was Porzingis, and
he can be a 3.
They've got.
They need another star.
But are they going to have the money for that?
They have pieces. In the NBA, you can always make the money work because there's a lot of dudes that make way more money than you think they do. Let me ask you a fun question just because I'm curious to see if, without looking, are either of you looking at the box score?
No.
Okay. Tommy was and then turned it, so I'm hoping you haven't already noticed what I noticed last night. Luka had 42. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 20. Who was the third leading scorer of the Dallas Mavericks last night?
I'm going to guess it was Kristaps.
Nope.
Really?
Kristaps had 8.
Was it Dorian Finney?
He also had 8. I'll say
was
that.
it?
Dwight
Maxey.
Powell had 8 as well. There were 3 guys with 8. One guy had 9 points.
Who was
Maxey.
Boban Marjanovic.
I was gonna say Boban, but
Boban.
I watched like a 10-minute stretch of the game where like Kawhi and a couple other Clippers just took the ball out of his hands. Like,
By the way,
possession
Boban's
after
also
possession.
the only starter for the Mavericks with a negative plus-minus.
He starts. Wow.
He doesn't normally start. He did start last night because they wanted to have like the twin towers of Kristaps Porzingis and Boban Marjanovic.
It's a very agile defense there with Boban and Kristaps.
Totally. Yeah, he did start
Real
last
switchable.
night, but he doesn't normally.
Real switchable.
Real switchable, guys. Real switchable.
I mean, he's likable though, and so that
He is
saves
likable.
him.
I'll give him that. He is very
He's a
likable.
very likable character when he's on the court.
I keep waiting for Kawhi to really like guard Luka and be like, okay, we can't be eliminated, so we're gonna match up Paul, take care of some of the offense, so I can focus on guarding Luka. And he hasn't been guarding him.
He's not gonna. I don't know why they don't want to put him on there. Maybe they don't want to expose Kawhi, or maybe it's just too much to ask Kawhi to be the number one defender
That's
on
what they
Luka
think.
and play offense the way he needs to for this team to win.
Something has to be wrong on this box score. They have Pat Beverly at 0 minutes and a -2 plus-minus.
He played for like 40 seconds.
Yeah, didn't
And
even
had
play a full minute.
Wow.
You have to play a full minute to register a minute.
Really? I thought you got credit for a minute as soon as you touched the floor.
You have to play a full minute.
Wow.
Okay. Has it always been that way?
I believe so.
Okay.
So they played Rondo 21 minutes instead of Pat Beverly and getting his defense. And
Pat
Rondo,
Beverly's been an absolute, just a
right, but
abject
Rondo was
disaster.
0 for 6 and 0 for 3 from 3.
Right.
He had some good passes. I saw a few plays that he made, but wow.
They're not good. And
I
think
can't believe-
they know they're not going anywhere.
I can't believe
know
they got
this
rid
is
of
not
Doc.
I
gonna
just love
work.
that there was a wise, mulleted Flostradamus that told you that LA was not going to have a team in the second round.
Yep. It's not over yet. LeBron's still got a chance.
Jeremy's very humble in victory.
I am. I like being right more than I like being alive.
You'll never
I need
hear-
that on a shirt. That needs to be a shirt. I
You'll
like
never
being
hear
right more than I
when
like
Jeremy's
being
right.
alive.
Yep.
Very
The only
humble
problem
guy.
is that somebody would see that, realize who I am, and shoot me.
Actually, you do need a T-shirt that says "humble guy." Like Kawhi has "fun guy." You should have a humble guy shirt
Yeah.
and wear it for all your victory Mondays.
Well, last night I was listening to one of the national shows, and they were having the conversation of the Lakers coming up tonight. Obviously, it's Game 6 of the series against the Suns. Their backs are against the wall, and it's a obviously must-win scenario. Win or go home. AD, we don't know how healthy he is with the groin strain. He said yesterday that if he was, if the doctors cleared him to play, that he would play. But they felt like that was kind of him laying the foreground for disappointing news. And that the Lakers may look at this and go, you know what, we don't need him. We shouldn't play him. We shouldn't press it. Because he's already got, he said that he hurt the groin in Game 4 because he hyperextended the knee in Game 3. So do you want to put street clothes back out there for Game 6 of this series that even if you won the series, you're going to go on to the next round and you're going to get bounced by Denver, we all think. I mean, I'm pretty sure Denver's going to close out the series tonight with the Portland Trailblazers. So you're just going to get bounced next round. What does it really matter? We still have years to go on Anthony Davis or street clothes and LeBron James.
Street clothes. Call him by his
It's going to take some
actual
time.
I don't think they can win without Anthony Davis, but I also don't want to see him limp around for 4 quarters and be
I don't care if
laboring.
He ain't going to limp around for 4 quarters. If he comes out there limping around, they're going to pull him off.
So, I never bet against LeBron, and he's, 17-0 in first-round matchups?
14.
But 14-0?
This is just
But
set up
it's
so
just,
beautifully for me.
there's no way, I just don't see it. I mean, to win 2 in a row with a hobbled AD, I mean, all the supporting cast would have to play out of their mind. LeBron can, at this age, he can only do so much, and a lot of his game, he's never going to be the guy to come out and just drop 60 to carry a team. He's
never been that
He's
guy.
He can play great. He can drop his 30, even 40 points sometimes, make a bunch of wonderful passes, but if he doesn't have the supporting cast playing hard, knocking the shots down,
But not
it's going to be tough.
But not in 2021. That's the problem. Is LeBron James is not that guy this year, or at least late in coming down the stretch of the season and in these playoffs.
He got
he's
AD
only
so he wouldn't
like
have
20
to be.
points a game.
Yeah.
He's only averaging somewhere around 20 points a game. It's his lowest scoring output in the playoffs ever. And you're not getting anything out of KCP or literally nothing. KCP and Dennis Schroeder had 0 points. 0 points in the last game. You had no Anthony Davis. You got nobody helping you out around you. Kyle Kuzma's not the answer. Do you just pack it in? And do you just say, nope, Doc say Anthony Davis can't play? And you go out there. I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and intentionally lose. I'm just saying they're not really going to set themselves up.
I mean, I think it's going to be
success.
up to the Suns, because I think the Lakers will come out and play hard. They don't want to be eliminated in a Game 6 in the first round, first time in LeBron's career, in their building. They're going to come out and play hard. But if the Suns can withstand that barrage at the start of the game, hit some shots, kind of deflate their energy, I think they can cruise in the second half. It really depends if they can withstand that first surge the Lakers are going to have at home.
Right.
I just shared Anthony Davis's injury history on my Twitter at @JGreene ESPN. There is an E on the end of Greene, by the way. 2 E's back to back. One small, one big. And I will definitively tell you, Anthony Davis may be the only person on planet Earth that's been hurt more times than Taylor Swift.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Think he's going to write an album about his injuries?
Old Humpty Dumpty.
Shake it off.
You just never put those pieces back together.
Put a Band-Aid on it. Get back out there.
Anthony Davis ain't going to play.
And everybody's going to hate.
And the haters going to hate. Hate.
But no, what would you do in this scenario? What's the smart move for the Lakers in this scenario? Do you push AD to play tonight?
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. If it's a close call, do you go to the doctor and say, hey, just rule him out? So
I'll go ahead and tell you, as a player, if I can physically walk, I'm playing.
It's an elimination game.
If I have a chance to win a ring in my head, even if it's a 0.1% chance to win one, I'm playing.
Even if it's a ring pop,
Anthony Davis is soft as baby shit. So, I can't tell you what he's going to do. I mean, Anthony Davis makes frozen yogurt look like concrete. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I will tell you this. The Phoenix Suns +2 is one of my favorite bets of all time.
And
because
your
Vegas is
Nuggets.
assuming they're going to play, or assuming he's going to play. I said it was one of my favorite plays of all time. Quite possibly my favorite play of all time.
It's even worse.
Is my 2021 NBA champion Denver Nuggets +4.5 tonight at Portland. You remember that dead Portland team that I told you I don't care what the number is? I didn't think I was going to get 4.5.
that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I picked the Blazers, and I'd throw some change on the Nuggets tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be all over that.
+4, yeah.
Because I don't care. Damian Lillard scores 55 points and you still lose in double overtime.
Oh, shit. I called him Anthony Davis instead of Street Clothes. Shit. I really appreciate y'all keeping me on.
He's a closet fan.
We're getting
He's a
used
closet
to.
fan. Just that much he has to know.
You know what Anthony Davis needs? The Weed Whacker from Manscaped.com. Get rid of that unibrow.
I suggested that, but everyone said that's his power. So
It's also probably his kryptonite, too. Because his eyebrow gets hurt a lot.
are you saying you can't prosper with a unibrow?
I mean, some can. I was trying to think.
You're trying to think of somebody with one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought of one, and then I missed the moment.
Didn't Frau Farbissina from Austin Powers?
There you go.
She was a wonderful evil dictator.
And in the cloud!
That was her girlfriend.
Oh,
The golfer.
Gotcha.
This has just been a weird day.
It has been a weird day.
I have to make some official picks.
So tonight,
We've been all over the board.
So tonight we're going Phoenix Suns +2 against the Lakers. Are you down for that?
Oh yeah,
Phoenix +2.
Yeah.
I'll go.
And everybody's taking the Nuggets +5.
I'll go over
4.5.
I'll go over 207 and Suns Lakers too.
Okay.
Then I am Denver plus 4.5 over 227.
How about the Monkey Knife Fight play of the night? MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Go on today and create your account at MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K. They will match your initial investment up to $50. They'll also give you a $5 free play that you can use on tonight's matchup.
I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between my 2021 NBA champion, Denver Nuggets, and the Portland Trailblazers.
Overrated.
I will get. You're overrated.
God almighty.
You're a towel. Damian Lillard over 34.5 points. Nikola Jokic over 32.5.
Yeah.
This has been my claim to fame. I would be 7 Monkey Knife Fight wins in a row if it hadn't been for Julius Randle and his half point screwing me over last night. Damn you. Damn you. Not tonight.
There is a.
Tonight's going to be. I honestly got to think. First of all, Nikola Jokic is going to get whatever he wants.
Yep.
He's going to be full on team gets mine. And Dame Lillard will too. I just think 3 starters playing over 50 minutes in the last game 2 nights ago, plus flying to Portland, plus it just all of the things. This has Portland getting run off the floor to me.
That's why I don't like investing in players that have like half a good season or just a good run defensively, because Robert Covington has just been, I don't know where he's been. I don't know.
Old Rocco. Well, he's being asked to do a lot because he's having to switch between Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't match up well.
He at least has to be
that's clear.
serviceable on offense to give them a break, and he's just not been.
I mean, but this is the problem. This is the problem that teams like Portland have, and Dallas has had, is being able to put players around
Enough
these
pieces,
guys that can mesh well. And it's not going to happen for Portland. I think they're going home, or I guess staying home tonight after they lose Game 6. Like you said, the attrition from the last game of all those starters playing so many minutes, it's just going to be too much.
Adam Black asked me, how do I take the over with Dame Lillard? Because he might shoot 906 times tonight. If you tell me the Portland Trailblazers put up 115 shots tonight, I will clearly say Damian Lillard's 30 of them.
Backs are against the wall. Who is Terry Stotts going to saying, we got to win this game?
Dame Lillard might not pass the top of the key. He might just pull up every time down the floor.
And he may have to, because he may not be able to jump more than 2 inches off the ground because he might be legally dead.
And
be sure to support our friends at MonkeyKnifeFight.com.
No doubt.
They were phenomenal to us through the coronavirus times and kept this show happening. So there's a reason that those are the 2 sponsors we talk about on this show.
Right.
I mean, we have Grant, Wicked Weed, and Ingles, and the ones that you hear about, the ones that stuck around with us, we will give them all of the free publicity that there possibly is, because our Monkey Knife Fight deal actually does not have this show on it. So that's free advertising from us, and there is a reason. So make sure to support them at MonkeyKnifeFight.com.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? Anything weird you want to bring up before we sign off of the 2-hour extravaganza
2
here?
hours.
Well, we almost went 2 hours. My throat hurts. I'm really glad we don't have an ESPN show this afternoon, because I don't think I would be able to talk. After 2 solid hours of talking, I don't think I would be able to speak.
It's been a journey. Shout out to everybody in the chat that stayed with us
as well.
through this whole journey.
I mean, we've
skipping work to have your headphones in to listen to us 3 talk shit.
Those of you that have hung in. Oh yeah, by the way, we have more things to do. Don't forget that the first 33 Patreon subscribers will be the 33 involved in our Dynasty Fantasy Football Owner Dynasty Sportsocracy League. Every team will have an owner, a head coach, and a GM. We will do interviews. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've talked to Robbie Wright of Showtime Sports here in Asheville to get shirts made of the independent teams. This is going to be a really fun idea. I've gone more down the rabbit hole on this than I'm proud to admit. But if you've ever wanted to play in an all-inclusive fantasy football league, this is the one. And through... I'm going to say through June, because the intention would be to do this in July.
Yep.
I would like to have the draft in July and be able to do the off-season content and things like that, just to get past the June 1 cuts, because it is going to be a dispersal draft. It's 25-man rosters. We're going to talk about... Zach Hurst said you saw my name and immediately thought Dynasty Football. Yes, I did. I actually did. Zach Hurst is the one he is our helmet guy. Check him out at Ink Addicts Memorabilia on Facebook. He has some of the most ungodly helmets you've ever seen. And we will be giving some of those away.
Oh God!
Through Patreon.
The Lawrence Taylor that he posted yesterday, that's got the camo. It's a camo base helmet with the New York Giants logo on the side, and LT signed it.
Yeah.
I was a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
That
Lawrence
was
Taylor's
awesome.
signature. I'm a bad motherfucker.
That
I
was
told
awesome.
Jeremy yesterday that the Green Bay one he has is ridiculous too. And I'm not even a Green Bay
They're all
fan,
good.
but it's ridiculous.
They're all
There
good.
are a lot of ridiculous helmets that we're going to be giving away through the Patreon and through all of the things. Armchair Commentary said if you want DFS hockey picks, you know where to find me. He has been just lighting it on fire with hockey talk. I've been checking the scoreboard just to see where the guy he puts in the comments. I don't think he's been out of the top 3 in like 3 days.
Wow.
I need him to have
tremendous.
I need an armchair to come up with a genie to help my Hurricanes get past the series because it's
not gonna happen.
A little tough.
It's
a
not
little
gonna
tough. I know. Yeah, it's
The
ridiculous.
Lightning are too strong, and it looks like
We looked so
to
good
me,
last series, and then I watched
Right.
the first 2 games of this one, and it looks like a different team.
They're not as aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here's how you do it: just don't watch. If they've lost twice because you watched, just don't watch. I've done it with
they'll
Florida
win
State
again.
basketball for years.
Yeah.
I've watched less regular season Florida State basketball the last 10 years than any point in my life, and we've been better. Are those two things applicable to each other? Maybe not to you, but, hashtag birds aren't real over here? Absolutely.
I can't stop. I'll be honest with you.
Can't stop, won't
I
stop.
started watching the Nashville series, and now I can't stop watching it.
One more thing before we get out of here. The expansion team names will be on the Facebook page and on the Twitter. If you want to vote in the poll, you will have to vote on it on Twitter. That is the only way that we can put 5 options out there. Facebook's algorithm is dumb because I can't keep it from, and you can add options, and I just see a path. Where I have a set of balls on the helmet that sits on this desk, and that
You
We
can't
have
do
5
shit
options.
without your balls.
So take care of them with the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY and be sure to get, that way you can be sure to get 20% off of your purchase and free worldwide shipping.
And be sure to use the promo code TANK at monkeyknifefight.com with my play of the night over 34.5 points for Damian Lillard, over 32.5 points for Nikola Jokic.
That's right.
Monkeyknifefight.com, promo code TANK. They'll match your initial deposit up to $50 and give you a free $5 ticket, which you can use on this game, and it will turn that free $5 ticket into $18. Monkeyknifefight.com, promo code TANK.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We will see you for the Friday edition right here in the Wicked Weed studio tomorrow morning at 9-ish. Don't forget to check out our friends at Wicked Weed Brewing at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. Tommy Bradley. It's been fun, man. And Jeremy.
It's been a journey, fellas.
And Jeremy Greene as well.
This show has been longer than a Mel Gibson movie, which I'm rather impressed by.
Again,
I
we
wonder
will
how
not-
many in the chat cried like we do at Mel Gibson movies.
Again, we will not have a radio show this afternoon. ESPN Asheville, normally 3 to 5 every weekday afternoon. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Braves baseball will preempt us today, but we will have the afternoon show tomorrow, and of course back here in the Wicked Weed studio tomorrow morning. Signing off, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Tommy Bradley. He's Jeremy Greene, and we will see you next time.